think bottling things up to avoid conflict is worse than like just having the talk about whatever it is that you're experiencing. Because like I was saying, you can build up so much resentment against your partner. Like I wouldn't say I resented you, but I would be like, oh, there are these things that he does that just annoy me so bad.
It always come back up. Always come back up. See, that's why this is why I'm not vulnerable now. This is why I can't just tell you anything.
Mm-hmm.
I have to like, and that's why I said you need time to like learn and understand a person throughout the years, because you can't just like, I let my guard down enough to where I can have a relationship and things of that nature, but not enough to just be pouring out and being vulnerable on that level. Because when I know you, I don't know you. I dare you share one of your closest friends' secret without exposing who they are. Welcome to another episode of Real Cozy Talks. I'm your co-host Ty. To my right, lovely wife, co-host Nella. And we're here to bring you real topics, real views, and real cozy vibes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please subscribe to our channel. Please like and share this video. And please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yep.
Also, make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram as well.
Real Cozy Talks across all platforms. Make sure you are keeping up. That's how we build our community, and that's how you best support us. It's free. So just go ahead and follow and subscribe and do all the free things to support.
Facts, support. What we sipping on tonight?
So we have this cupcake, lighthearted Chardonnay. I am not a Chardonnay girly, okay? I have not had Chardonnay in years because I'm just not a fan. And then we're doing this lighthearted, low-calorie wine this time. So I don't know what this is about to look like, but let's give it a taste.
Let's do it.
Cheers to episode 13. Not a fan.
Like at all?
It could be worse, but I think I'm just. Let me not. I've had Chardonnays that taste worse. But I just don't like Chardonnay. But this one's not horrible though. It's not. It's not horrible. It's just not my top kind of wine. That's just what that is, honestly speaking.
It's a little different, a little bitey, but I don't mind it. It's a little different than what I'm used to drinking.
Yeah, because we never drink Chardonnay, so it's definitely different. But anyway, moving right along. Okay. What's popping? What? Am I moving on too fast from the wine?
Away from that wine, okay.
Because I have nothing else to say. No shade. You know, I do like some cupcake wines, just not this one in particular.
Gotcha.
Okay. And it's because it's Chardonnay. It don't have nothing to do with cupcake. Anyway, how are you feeling? What is new? What's going on?
Feeling better. Got some strength.
You got some strength in you?
Yep, got some strength.
I can tell.
Feel a little better.
I can tell. I'm just joking.
What about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I feel like I've had, like, the past week has been really good, and I'm just in a good headspace, honestly. I'm just in a good headspace. Work is chaotic, but I feel good about everything right now. Even the not so good things, I'm just like, whatever. We're rolling with the punches here. So, okay. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, let's get into some real ish. Tonight, we're talking about how we've changed in the last 10 years.
How we've changed a decade later.
Right.
Yeah.
No difference. Tomato.
Technically, we've been together a little bit over a decade. We've been together for like 12.
Yeah, like 12 years. Like 12 years. But
12 years.
10 years is a good sample size.
Yeah, yeah. It just sounded cute, honestly. A decade later, get it? Just sounds nice. So we went with that. But technically, we've been together for 12 years, and we're in our early, coming up on mid-30s. But
Yeah,
you closer to mid than me. But we are in our early 30s still, and we have been together since we were young adults.
yeah, we've been together since we were young adults, and you know, there's been times throughout the podcast we touched on some things of, you know, how we've been throughout the years. But from a relationship standpoint, how do you think you've changed?
I think I've changed tremendously since we first started dating. I think the first thing that came to my mind when you asked me that question is like how vocal I am now and how honest I am about my feelings.
Yeah.
I feel like initially I was not as open and as honest as I could have been as far as like, you know, things that would bother me or just anything that's on my mind that I thought would make you uncomfortable. I would like avoid those things. And then in turn, it'll make me like feel some type of way towards you because I wasn't expressing how I felt. So it's just like, how could you even know what's wrong if I'm not stating my opinions or,
Right.
you know, letting you know when I feel uncomfortable? Now I'm just like, we're going to talk about this. Let me know when you're ready. Let's have a talk.
So you would say it's more so you have self-inflicted wounds in a sense.
I definitely inflicted some wounds by not telling how I feel because, and then I feel like it was just not healthy. It wasn't healthy to be that way because I would be upset with you for things that we talked about. Like once we got to this place of, you know, communicating more openly, we would talk about these things and then you explain your side and I'm like, dang, I was mad for no reason. Like I just needed to better understand you and you better understand me.
Right.
Like some of the things I was mad at, I'm like, they were low key kind of my fault.
Yeah.
Once we talked about them later down the road.
I think for me, when it comes to what you're describing, it's more so like to keep the peace kind of deal. Like you might swallow a lot of things just because it's like I don't feel like having that, you know, that discourse or that friction within a relationship. So just easier to, I guess, well, you know, bottle things up. But now as you fast forward, I think, you know, over time you have emotional maturity that just comes with age and just comes with being with somebody long enough to understand things.
Yeah. Like understand more things about them.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't really do that in like 3 years. People think you can, but you kind of can't.
Yeah. And to the people who can, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that you, let me take that back. Not to say that you can't, but if you're really trying to like thoroughly understand somebody through and through, like there's still going to be things that they're not going to expose to you until they're comfortable doing so.
Right.
In the way that they feel comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
Releasing those emotions in a sense.
Yeah, I think bottling things up to avoid conflict is worse than like just having the talk about whatever it is that you are experiencing. Because like I was saying, you can build up so much resentment against your partner. Like I wouldn't say I resented you, but I would be like, oh, there are these things that he does that just annoy me so bad. And it's just like when I finally came out and said, oh, this bothers me, then it's just like, you're like, oh, okay, you know, like we can talk about it and you actually make the correction. Or I realize, okay, girl, you were tripping on that. It's just like I waited all that time to get to, and I'm not even mad at myself.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
Because I was a kid. At the end of the day, like, yes, I was an adult, but in comparison to where I am now, like, thought I was grown, but I was not grown. I was still very young, very immature, and I'm just glad to be at a better place now because I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. If it's on my mind, if it's bothering me, I'm going to express it to you. Not because I, you know, want to be malicious or anything, but because I want for us to be in the best possible place that we can be.
Right.
So.
What are some other things that you feel as though you've changed throughout the relationship?
I think I've gotten a lot more patient.
Yeah.
I think I used to be very easily irritated. Even if I didn't, I feel like I showed it, not in like an aggressive way, because that's just not in my nature. But
distant.
Yes.
Distance. Yeah.
Yes. Could you feel it?
I mean, come on. To be honest with you, most guys can.
Yeah.
It's like, especially, what's wrong? Nothing. Okay.
I'm good.
Like, we're supposed to be mind readers.
Look, and then after a while, it just all comes out, and it's just like, you didn't say this earlier, though. Right. But I just asked you. Now you want to bring this up when we're about to have this nice dinner or whatever it may be. Right. Yeah, but that definitely my patience. I don't think I was as patient. I wasn't like super impatient, but I got irritated very easily earlier on in our relationship. Like just the smallest things, and I would be like, he does this or he does that in my mind. And just now later on in our relationship, I'm like, no, girl, you are impatient. I want things to happen now. Right. And I don't know, I just think it's unfair. I think it's unfair to say one thing and expect to see it immediately. You know what I mean? And right. I'm just glad I'm getting better. I still have my moments.
Yeah, I mean that comes with change as well, where like people don't understand that you're allowed to break your habits. Like the way that you develop the habit, that same time, or those same habits that you develop to create that habit, needs to be exercised to break the habit.
Right. So it takes time, essentially, is what you're saying. It's not something that happens overnight.
Exactly. Especially when somebody's used to doing something, so it's like, dang, I mean, I'm like, the person could really be trying. And it's like, I'm really trying here. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to like get it together. But just the understanding that habits, deserve to be broken in a way that where it takes time and effort. Yeah, that needs to be allowed.
So we need to allow room. You basically saying a room needs to be allowed for those habits to be.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you think about it, like if that's going to be the temperature of a relationship, then and we plan on being together for 50 plus years, it's like, dang.
Fingers crossed.
How can somebody be allowed to actually, over time, change something? Whereas it's like, I gotta do this right now. Like, right now. Then you start thinking about the future. Like, I don't know. It seems kind of crazy, but again, just to think about it from that aspect, and just to understand that that habits just take time to break.
What about for you though? Like as far as like not your habits, but like, and I'm sorry, I thought you were finished with your sentence. But just as far as like what's something that has changed for you in this relationship over time?
Using opportunities to how can I say this? Using opportunities to say what will bother me when you are expressing what's bothering you. So what I'm saying is, and we both done that, but I know I've done that. So it's like, that will be a thing where it's like, okay, am I really listening or not? Or even though I'm listening, maybe I feel like I want to be heard as well. Because like I said before, I'm the type that will say, I don't think there's ever necessarily a perfect time to like say something. You try to wait where it makes sense, but then a lot of times it doesn't make sense. So it's like, maybe I just need to say something. But
instead of waiting until, because you did do that. I can't say that I can't say that you do that now. I can't recall you doing that later on. But initially, if I had a problem, you're like, but then such and such. Why didn't you bring up your problem at a different time?
Because in my mind, it felt like, okay, like how you was expressing what you was expressing earlier. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, she has to know that I let this go, or she's doing things where she knows that I'm not speaking on. So when you speak on something, it's like, well, hold on. didn't you just? How you gonna come at me for this? Now I feel like that's my opportunity to come in and say what I need to say, but which is not the right way to handle it, but you change over time from that.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense.
Yeah, no, that has gotten better, child.
Now I'm not saying that it shouldn't be said. I do think there's a way to say it.
Yeah.
Let me put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you're having those conversations, it's not to be ignored, but there's a way to say things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing I noticed about you that you've gotten better at, I still sometimes I'm like, I still think you can express yourself a little bit more as far as like things that you're just always so calm or whatever. And I think you kind of did the whole passive thing a little bit too. But I've noticed now that you are more open, and I appreciate that because I always felt like it was hard to get certain things out of you because you're always so copacetic, like always so good.
But not only that, it's also just having the history of having information of yourself or whatever just being twisted and put against you.
Mm-hmm.
So you tread lightly. Just what you mean?
Are you saying I did that?
No. I'm saying like when you are used to that kind of, when you have that kind of history, and that's all you kind of like dealt with.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
So you felt like, because I'm sure by now you know that I would not do that. But so you felt like, I guess, prior to us being together, you've had situations where the things you say or things you become vulnerable about will be thrown in your face in a heated debate or something like that, and you were afraid that I would do that.
It always come back up. Always come back up. See, that's why this is why I'm not vulnerable now. This is why I can't just tell you anything. I had to and that's why I said you need time to learn and understand a person throughout the years, because you can't just I let my guard down enough to where I can have a relationship and things of that nature, but not enough to just be pouring out and being vulnerable on that level, because I know you, I don't know you. And if you really get upset, I don't know what that means.
What about at this place in our marriage?
Well, it's different now. That's why I said 10 years is a good sample size. Because it's after that, it's okay, now, what's... If you haven't learned anything between 10 years, then I don't know what to tell you. But it's different now, because we're going through some of our hardships, if you want to call them that. Had communication barriers that we broke. Still some growth to be had, obviously, but
right, always.
But now, it just feels, I guess you can feel more like a safe space now.
Yeah. I'm glad you feel like you have a safe space. So do you just to, I guess, solidify this. So I just want to make sure you don't feel like I would throw anything in your face at this point in our relationship. Do you feel 100% good with sharing how you're feeling or your thoughts without feeling like I'm gonna, take them and use them as a weapon against you?
Yeah. Now it's more so me treading the lines of how to say it towards you, because I know how you would receive certain things. Now I have to make sure okay, I gotta say it like this or paint it this way so that it makes sense and that I'm not coming from an angle of weirdness or get back or just being an asshole or something. So it's more so that now. So
I can tell you try to be intentional with how you
I'm really trying, because it's if it was left up to me, I'd just say it. But at the same time, I'm trying to I'm not trying to get away from that. Let me take that back. But just depending on who I'm talking to, it's okay, let me make sure this is said correctly.
Because you'll hurt my feelings real quick if you don't. I don't think I'm overly sensitive, but because I care about you so much, and care about where we stand and all those things, you know, I think some of the things that there's things that you can say to me that would sting that someone else could say to me that just wouldn't, I would not give two ish.
Right.
So yeah. So I appreciate that you take that time because your girl is still very much soft when it comes to you.
Yeah, for sure. Quickly from an individual standpoint, you know, what has changed about you? You know, like, and maybe it's the way that you learn. You know, maybe it's the way that you maybe retain information, or you know, maybe you are researching in a different way that helps you. I don't know.
Something that has changed about me is me becoming okay with like me time and like not being so clingy.
Yes.
Because I feel like I was codependent in a sense early on.
Yep.
And I think that also made me, because I didn't know at the time what that was.
Right.
I didn't realize I was codependent. I thought that this is how it's supposed to be, and you're in a relationship, so you're supposed to be, you know, just clingy, because in my nature that's just how I am, right, or whatever. And because you're not that way early on, I did feel like, okay, how much does he actually really love me? Like, I hear him say it and I know that you do, but like, do I love him this much and he loves me this much? You know what I mean? Because you were so okay with your doing things all by yourself and like just being Ty. And I'm just like, no, like you need to do more of me. Like you need to think about me more. And it's just like, no, girl, you need to think about yourself more.
Right.
Like you're so worried about him. And don't get me wrong, I was worried about myself in the sense that I stayed focused on all of the things I wanted to accomplish and all that. Like I wasn't that, you know, crazy. But at the same time, when it came to spending time and doing things together, when we were younger, I was not okay with it. Like I felt like we have to do all these things together. Now, I kind of now need my own little space. I'll go take my little walks. I'm totally fine with going on a girl's trip, and just doing things without you and being just fine.
You got to.
Yeah.
You gotta make your own happiness.
Yeah, it's allowed me to just become a better person overall. Like I feel like the self-development has just been so great over the last few years because, you know, I'm not as clingy as I was.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it. I witnessed it firsthand. So,
yeah.
You know, you definitely came out of that shell. Because I thought at times it was kind of like weird. It's like, dang, like what does this really mean? Because every second of the day, I don't know how you gonna do this, man. I'm being serious.
Yeah, that was not okay. That was not okay. But
so I guess a good takeaway from this is,
I know you need to tell me what yours is.
You talking about from an individual standpoint?
As an individual, over the being in this relationship as an individual over the last decade, what's one thing that you think has changed about you as just a person?
I think I mentioned it before, but not being so quick to like cut off or shut down from the standpoint of I don't know, like just I've gotten better with analyzing the situation and then thinking about it. I never acted out on my emotions, but more so from the standpoint of not analyzing it and shutting it off, more so analyzing it to like understand. So I think I've gotten better with that.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And yeah, analyzing to understand and just being more patient with myself to get to the answers to fully understand all of what needs to be understood.
Okay, now. All right, understood.
I had to say it like that because the reason why I'm saying it that way is because in my mind, it's like I analyze this whatever. It is what it is. I'm moving on because I don't have time. But I have to spend a little more time on that to make sure that I'm making sense of it. So by the time I get out of it, I made all the sense I need to make. So I'm gonna feel like either my decision is gonna be right or wrong. But we gotta have a conversation about it. Whereas beforehand, I wouldn't care to have a conversation.
It's just kind of like, well, this is what I think of it, and that's just that.
And that's just that. That's why I'm breaking it down with the understanding piece.
Yeah. I
have to phrase it that way.
No, I totally get that. I think, we've changed. How many times do you think we've changed over the last decade?
I said it before, maybe like 3 times.
Yeah.
So far.
I think 3 is a very fair number of times that we've changed, and honestly, I'm grateful for how far we've come over these last few years. I never imagined, it's like I imagined it, but I couldn't really see us being in this place because I'd never really seen that before.
Right.
I've never really seen that before, so I'm glad to be at this place that we're at.
For sure.
Like that we created this.
Yeah,
like we did this.
Time, energy, consistency, persistent, the willingness to want to.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to compile all those ingredients and then, you'll get what you want. But if you don't do that, then you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah.
Can't just be petty all the damn time.
Yeah. That's facts. I can't deal with pettiness. That'll tick me off.
I want what I want. You ain't hearing me. You can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
It ain't about who's cracking first. It's more so like, okay, we ain't getting nowhere.
Facts. What's your favorite thing about where we are right now? Or how do you feel about where we are right now?
I feel good about where we are because we're trying.
The
moment we start trying, it's like, ooh, okay, now I can feel that. But we're trying all the time. So that's why I feel good about it.
Yeah. That's a really good call out. We do try all the time. And I think that's why it's become so easy, because we're actively always trying to make sure that we're good.
Right.
And I love that for us. Hopefully we'll get more decades together.
I'm sure we will. It's up to us.
Yep. We got this. Well, I really enjoyed that conversation. And it's time to move on to hot topics. Hot topics. I got to do the go-go beat.
Oh, some go-go in there.
DMV, All right. First up, Diddy.
Diddy.
The Department of Homeland Security has raided both of his homes, child. I think the one in Miami and the one in LA, or did I make
LA.
that up?
I believe LA.
Child, because they are investigating sex trafficking case, I guess, against him, or maybe that he's involved in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, we don't have the full details of it, but they have officially raided his home, and I did not think it would come so soon after the whole Cassie thing. I did not think it would come so soon. I thought that they would take a couple more years to really build up a solid case against him and then just sting him when he least expects it.
Who's to say they haven't been building a case for these past years?
That's facts, though. Especially,
you feel me? With all these people talking and everything, you don't know who's talking on the low. You just don't know. They probably been building a case forever, which is why they raided them homes. Because somebody said in the comments, when they raid your home, they got plenty.
Yeah.
They don't just go raiding homes.
Yeah. Do you think that he's a part of a bigger sex trafficking situation? Obviously, these are not facts. These are opinions.
For sure.
I think so too. I think so. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think I hope that the industry comes toppling down, because I know that it's filled with predators, and it's sick. I know it's a sick world out there, and they never thought that the world will evolve to where it is now with social media and people being able to use their voice and all that. I don't think they expected any of this thing to be this out and open.
Yeah, that's the real thing, the social media piece, because if you take that away, it's really hard, to be able to close in on someone like this,
Mm-hmm.
and you got somebody like him that has all this money that think they're probably invincible, can get away with a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's crazy. They also said that at least his jet is in Antigua,
Yeah.
but they have yet to confirm. Well, as of right now, they have yet to confirm, if he's there or not. You ask me, brothers in Antigua
You think he'll hide out there
in a bunker.
in a bunker? He's probably been building that bunker for a while. But I would say this: I believe just about everything that they said that he did, especially you, Cassie. I believe every single thing that she said he did. He did it, and I hope that he pays for his heinous, disgusting crimes. I think a predator is the most disgusting criminal ever. I cannot stand murderers, and I cannot stand people who take advantage of people sexually. I think it's disgusting. And that's why I always talk to Malachi about consent. I know he probably gets sick and tired of me, but I don't care. You need to be sick and tired so that you'll remember in your brain that somebody cannot consent under the influence.
That's a fact. I think eventually he'll understand it on a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
You think there's a mole?
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, I know, of course, but the same. I'm just thinking about, because I think about people like the pilot and stuff. I'm not saying that he's a mole, but it's like when you're in that situation as a pilot, and they usually have personal pilots like that. It's like,
I think someone somewhere is a mole. I mean, he's just too well known in the industry for someone to not be talking. Okay.
I'm talking, but I'm just saying, in terms of him being tipped off to not be at either of those places, is what I mean. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what I mean.
You're like wondering why he's not.
It was just coincidental for him to just be.
Child, it might be what Candace Owens said. She said that he's probably just going to be the fallout guy. They're probably not there to. And I'm not the biggest Candace fan because she is problematic, but she said he might be the fallout guy. He might be a part of a bigger thing, and they're just collecting evidence versus trying to use it against him to prevent people even above him from getting caught up in this mess.
But
you never know with the way how corrupt things are. You just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know. But moving on to Angel Reese, it has been in the news, I guess you would say, about how Angel Reese she waved at a Middle Tennessee State player who had fouled out. So just imagine a player on the opposing team fouling out, and she like, bye, basically. I just need to understand why that is news. I need to understand why there are headlines reporting on this, because it is basketball. I mean, do we not see things like that all the time when you watch the NBA, when you watch male college basketball? Why do they make it such a thing? Because she's a girl.
Because she's a woman. She's black. She's winning. She's one of the highest paid, and she's doing it on the highest level. Now you get that girl out there, Caitlin, out in Iowa, she can do the same thing. Everybody love it and they praise her, but it's just the fact, it's the image. They don't like what Angel Reese in a sense represent, which, I mean, I don't understand what else you want her to do. And you mad because she's good at what she does.
Yeah, and that's the part.
It's like,
I think the people who don't keep up tend to say things like, she's not that good. The girl is good.
Girl is good. You can't not be that good and not get paid like that.
She's good. Okay? Make no mistake about it. I just want people to cut this girl some slack and let her be. Like, and at the end of the day, she's young. Like, to me, she's a child. Like, I get, as far as age, she's technically considered an adult, but she's young, and 5-10 years from now she'll mature into probably a completely different person. But I don't see anything wrong with her being arrogant, cocky, and carrying herself the way she does. I'm here for it.
It's age appropriate. And
it is.
And even if she was 40 or whatever, she's still killing it. What's the issue?
Mm-hmm.
What is the issue for real?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people that's still doing that, and we'll praise them. We just like to pick and choose who we want to see doing that,
and who we want to villainize when they do it.
Who want to villainize when they do it, and that's really the problem. Because there's no reason, for her to have the kind of backlash. It's not even like she was degrading the girl. I mean, that's very normal.
It's basketball.
It's basketball. Like, it's a competitive sport.
It's basketball. Well, I appreciate you standing up for Angel Reese, okay, as a black man.
I think she dope.
Because I'm sick and tired of y'all trying to villainize that girl. Not saying black men do that. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he stands on the right side of things. Moving on. Florida. Y'all are a weird state, but I'm here for this next one. They are weird. They're always doing weird stuff in Florida.
Yeah, Florida's weird. Yeah.
Whenever you hear a story, you're like, I'm sure that happened in Florida. Y'all be doing some things over there. I don't know what's in the water. I don't know, but effective January 2025, social media accounts ran by people under the age of 14 will be deleted. And we've kind of touched on something similar before. I'm here for it.
Yep, we touched on something similar to where it was like supposed to be 16.
Yeah, and I think it ended up getting vetoed or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I personally think 16 is a good number. And if you're gonna, and it's tricky, right? Because if you're involved in like sports and stuff where it makes sense to create your highlights and to showcase that, okay, cool. But that needs to be under parental control.
Yep. Totally agree.
But anyone that's under 14 and under, you really shouldn't be having social media accounts at all, really.
Yep. Our 15-year-old just got his Instagram, and that's because his coach made him get one.
And you know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like,
yeah,
if that's their form of communication, okay. But just for you to be having random social accounts, because anybody can create one, you can lie.
Yeah, it's still going to be hard to buckle down on that.
Well, it can be. It's definitely going to be hard, but it's like you shouldn't be having social media accounts.
Facts. Parents, watch your kids, check their phones. I try to find that balance in like not being intrusive, because I think kids do deserve privacy, but at the same time making sure I'm monitoring what I need to monitor. I'm not saying I catch everything or anything like that, because it is a hard balance, but I at least try my best. And I try to just give him the information that he needs to know what's appropriate versus what is not. Now, if he does something outside of that and I find out, we're just going to have to handle that as it comes, but I'm going to at least try.
Get them random check-ins.
Listen.
I see them icons. What is? Let me hold it. Let me see it. Open it.
No, seriously.
Let me see. Mm-hmm. No, this is okay. That's how we found out about the Instagram thing. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You were like, Instagram. That's when we found out his coach made him get one. But it's just like, yeah, watch those kids. Like, they're not as innocent as they portray themselves to be. Okay. They be faking the funk, but a lot of kids are very sneaky. But moving on to that Neuralink patient. So a few months back, I think he's I don't want to say he's paraplegic. I don't remember. He's paralyzed.
From like the shoulders down.
Oh, it's from the shoulders down. Okay,
yeah.
So he's paralyzed. Doesn't that make you like hemiplegic or something? Probably made that up. I should know this. I can't remember. But he's paralyzed from the shoulders down. You're right.
Correct.
And he received the brain chip from Neuralink, a company. Is that Elon Musk's company, or he partnered with them? Yeah. He might own it. I don't know. Don't
own it, or he partnered, but he's involved. Let's put it like that. He has involvement within the brain chip.
Yes.
Neuralink.
And he got that brain chip a few months ago. Child, how about the man is controlling the cursor with his thoughts on a computer, like a cursor on a computer. He's controlling it. I think you said he played chess or something.
Yeah, playing games.
Yeah.
And you can like actually see him playing the game.
That's what technology is supposed to be about. That's what it's supposed to be about.
And that part makes sense. Because the last time we touched on this, I'm like, we need to put a chip in my head for it. But But when you use it the right way, okay. Now we talking. Even though this is it's on topic but kind of off topic with like Europe having more strict AI laws, you know, because it's like, hey, listen, we're not going to be disrespecting humans. Like, we need to make sure this is grounded, you know. So it's like when it comes to the brain chip, this is a good cause.
Yeah, this is a great cause. If you're gonna do some AI control type thing, this should be what it's for, to help patients like this. So
yeah, because you know, if you're able, you know, and he seemed happy.
Yeah, he was. I saw a clip of him talking.
Right. So the fact that he can just control something and with his brain, which means this could be a lot bigger than where it's at today. You know, I mean, obviously it's going to take time, but you know, we just don't want to have people out here just putting chips in people and just doing the most
uncontrolled.
There was this guy that had like a robotic arm, and he was moving it like his other arm, and he said it feels like his actual arm, like the neural. It felt like, I mean, that's how he was moving it with like the neural links, or however you want to put it, his nerves. He felt everything. Yeah, and he was just in the store like moving it like his right. It wasn't robotic at all. It was very fluent.
I love that. I love that kind of technology. Y'all need to do the right thing with
That's
the
direction technology is going to. Yeah.
But moving on to
apply that pressure.
That's my drum roll, since I can't tap right now. Okay, since I'm going first, what's something non-sexual that we haven't done together that you would like to do?
Well, we just explored the country.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Maybe learn a new language.
Oh yeah. That'll be so dope.
Yeah, learn a new language.
Which language you want to learn together?
Well, I think we should, you know, even though I had Spanish classes, you know, I didn't take them as seriously as I should have.
Neither did I, child. Neither did I. I dated a whole amigo in high school. That's what I called him, my little amigo. And still knew not a lick of Spanish.
Right.
And I would be like, teach me some Spanish. Ask me, do I know anything other than hola?
Yeah.
I can count a little bit too.
Well, I mean, but Spanish, you know, and then maybe after Spanish, maybe like some Mandarin or something, but Spanish for sure.
Okay. I can get with it.
You feeling that?
I'm feeling it.
Okay. Truth or dare?
What? When did we start doing that?
I mean, this is.
Go ahead. Truth or dare?
I'm asking you, truth or dare?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Dare.
Okay. I dare you share one of your closest friends' secret without exposing who they are.
Babe.
Let's apply that pressure, truth or dare.
A secret, but I'm not going to tell you who it is.
You ain't got to tell me who it is.
I got to think of this. Oh my gosh.
You could just tell it in a way without exposing who they are. I won't even know regardless of, so audience isn't going to know, you feel me?
This is so hard. This is so hard. Jesus. Let me take a sip of wine real quick.
Yeah, take a sip to that.
A secret?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
This is hard.
That's a good pressure right there.
Can I switch to truth? Or do I have to stick to dare?
I thought you stood on business.
I do. It's just I can't think of any secrets that are like from my friends right now.
Yes, you can. You just don't know how you're going to share it.
No, I can't think of any right now. Let me think. Golly. Bye, Bali. I'm going to I don't know.
That's too much for you.
It's not even that it's too much. I cannot think of a secret.
You picked the dare.
Okay, I'm gonna pick the dare.
You had a choice.
My friend got exposed to some things. But she ended up not getting it. But there was a risk that she could have, and but she didn't. She avoided it, and I was really happy for her. And yeah, the person was just a dishonest person to her.
Okay.
And you know,
shame on that person.
Shame on that person. That person was dishonest. It's not even like they didn't know. They were just dishonest and deceitful.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I'm good, yo.
Yeah.
That was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy because I've heard that several times, so no one would ever know.
No, for sure. I mean, I've heard similar stories. You know, I've heard a lot, but you know, I come from them areas, so
you come from them parts.
I come from them parts, so I've heard things.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, since you want to do the most truth or dare, listen, I might have to swing that back on you next week.
I had to switch it up. You feel me? Like,
what is your favorite way to receive affection?
I say like random feels, you know.
But you don't like butt squishes.
I don't. But you know,
like,
but you know what I mean, though.
Stop.
I think you know what I mean. You're like random, like, you know, little acts of
random love taps.
Little random love taps.
Where do you? Never mind. I was gonna say, where do you like the love taps? Like, what kind of love taps do you? What kind of love taps do you enjoy?
I mean, you know.
Okay, I got you. You don't need to say anymore. Yeah.
All right. What's the weirdest habit you have done alone?
Alone?
Like, what's the weirdest habit you do when you're alone?
My gosh, what is wrong with you? Why do you ask these things?
Is that crazy?
I just don't know. Okay, something weird that I do when I'm by myself. I be twerking.
I ain't weird though.
I be twerking. I twerk sometimes. But I do that in front of you too, though.
That's what I'm saying.
But I totally do that alone. Can you imagine a fly on the wall, someone just twerking all by themselves? I just randomly burst out in twerks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what I do. All right. Last question to you, my friends. When was the last time you felt butterflies?
Well, the thought that's fresh on my mind is when I got a birthday gift and wasn't expecting it. When you, Malachi, got like the cologne, the bracelet. Might have been something else. Oh, it
when
was
you were
like,
about to cry?
Was I? I was?
I think so.
I'm not saying it in that way. I mean, I just can't remember if I was or not.
I think that's the time Malachi got you a card.
Yeah, there was a card.
And it was really emotional. There
was 2 bottles of cologne. It was like one day, one the next day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because we had said we weren't gonna do birthdays or something.
Right.
For that. But I was just like, no, I'm about to get my man something.
And so you be doing that too. Like, we'll agree on something and then you come.
You did that to me.
When?
You did that to me when you bought this 3rd ring.
Yeah, but like, that was appropriate.
I appreciate it.
That was 1 year. That was 1 year.
Okay.
Anniversary ring.
Okay.
That was the other piece to that ring. I feel like that was appropriate.
But you still did it.
Well, I mean, it's appropriate though.
Right? Yeah, it was.
That was 1 year anniversary.
I felt like crap. I didn't get you anything.
I was good with that though.
Yeah.
Listen, Very simple. I'll be good with it. It's like, happy birthday, hey, appreciate it. I had a friend told me one time, she was like, it's whatever, but maybe we can get you some gifts, whatever. Like, no, we good. I'm good. Why? You want me to get you anything because you feel like you gotta get me something? And I don't want to feel like that.
I understand. Totally understandable.
I don't feel that way. I mean, because like, I'm be honest with you, I'm not the best gift giver, or I don't be remembering all these birthdays and stuff. It's just too many.
I totally agree with the fact that there are too many birthdays to remember. I am pretty decent at remembering birthdays, not gonna lie. But it's a lot.
It's a lot, man.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot. Especially because birthdays, I mean, I like my birthday and all, but it's also not that, like, I appreciate that, another year and da-da-da-da. But as far as doing something big, I rarely do anything really big, or I cancel stuff all the time for my birthday because I don't feel like it.
Yeah, like, I'm good. Give me a happy birthday. Yeah.
So it's kind of hard when people expect you to do the most for their birthday, and it's just like, baby, I barely celebrate my birthday.
That's what I'm saying.
It's really hard to, like, I'm going to celebrate, I'm going to buy my friends, gifts and stuff. But like the people that expect the most outside of this big group, it's just like, baby, you are doing too much. I just slapped my kids' gifts together and you want me to give you the world?
It's not going to be what you think. It's not.
Just take that pressure up off me.
Happy birthday, club.
Listen.
That ain't good enough.
I don't know what is.
I'm telling you. What's one thing you hate people knowing about you?
One thing I hate people knowing about me is everything.
Dang.
And I say that not in a mean way. I say that like on social media. Like sometimes I wish I appreciate being in the space that I'm in.
Yeah, I'm about to
I
say.
appreciate that I have a platform. I love it, but sometimes I wish I could retreat a bit. And I can, but I don't want to. Number one, it's another source of income. Number two, I genuinely do like to use my platform for a good reason. Like I do. But I'm not naturally a spotlight person. I'm not. And then sometimes I'm like, dang, these people are really like looking at me. Like people actually look at me and actually like say they like looking at my content. And sometimes it's a lot. It's a lot. It's just like, why do you like looking at me for? Like, I don't understand. It's like I do and I don't. I love the situation that I'm in. I appreciate all of the support that I get from people. And they know that. But sometimes when people, I don't know, just knowing people are looking at me, it's kind of hard a little bit.
Listen, it's because you see yourself. It's just yourself being in a new situation, because I'm telling you right now, it's not easy to get up there on IG Live and be up there talking and putting up videos and people look. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So when I see these people just throwing up videos on IG Live and just doing, I'm like, man, y'all some bold people.
Yeah. Yep.
Y'all some bold people. You have to do it a couple times.
Yeah, I've done IG Lives. Now I'm comfortable with doing it. I don't do them often, but like I feel like the times where I had to do IG Lives were mostly like brand partnerships. Like back a few years ago, brands were really heavy on IG Live partnerships. So I've done a couple of lives in like the most tense situations with like the biggest brands. And now I'm like, oh, well, I did that with them. It's nothing now.
Better than me.
Yeah, it's nothing now.
Man, what if you don't say the right thing or something?
Yeah, no. I mean, I am pretty careful with my words. So
right, but that's just my thought when you go on IG. It's like when you were doing that, in my mind, I'm like, ooh.
Oh, you were wondering like, what if I said the wrong thing about the product?
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
oh yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself like, ooh, man, different, because I don't know if I could have.
No, I would make sure I was very well prepared if it was for a brand partnership. Like, girl, first of all, I used the products. I never went up there and talked about anything I've never used. So I can talk about a real experience, talk about, how it made my hair or this or that feel and all those things. So, I mean, yeah. But those long ass names of them products, sometimes I'll be looking, let me pick up this bottle again. Yeah, so I use, like, I can't just say, oh, I used Dove shampoo. They, you know, and I'm just using Dove as an example. I have worked with Dove several times, but not in that live. But I'll be like, the Dove nourishing, replenishing, soothing moisture mix curler detangler. It's just like, why do y'all have 50 million? I'm gonna pick up this product and I'm gonna read it up here, okay? Because that's too many words.
And you put on that little bottle or whatever. You gotta read all that.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I'm comfortable with it, but sometimes I get like, maybe it's just shy a little bit.
It's shy, but it's also just because, like I was saying before, your self-awareness. Like, you know, like all of a sudden, like especially all of us, right? We recognize our own flaws that other people don't care about. That's the thing. Other people ain't thinking about you like that, but you think about yourself like, man, I ain't. Oh my God, I can't get on live looking like this. Like, people ain't caring about you like that for real.
That's facts.
But it's hard to get over that though.
It is hard to get over it. But let me just reiterate, because I know people like to take things and run with it and twist it. I love the people who support me. I appreciate it. It has changed my life drastically. And yeah, I just got to put that out there, because y'all take one thing and run with it and turn it into something I did not say.
Cut that little part out.
What part?
I'm just saying that cut a little piece out, but like, this is what she said.
Right. And I'm like, that is not how it happened.
She said.
Not what I said. You missed the part where I said I was shy. You missed that part, huh? Conveniently.
That happens all the time.
Yep.
Anyways.
Cheers again to episode 13. Oh no, the cheers comes after. Wait, hold your cheers. Reminder, don't forget to subscribe to Real Cozy Talks right here on YouTube. We are also available on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. I don't think we've ever mentioned that.
No.
We're on Spotify and Apple, so you can listen in there. You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Real Cozy Talks. That's the best way to support us. Help us build our community. We appreciate your support and you tuning into us every week. Cheers to episode 13. Peace.